Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to turn scraps like these. These are leftover strips from jelly rolls, different lengths, and I'm going to show you how to make them into cushion covers like these. This is an ideal project for using up leftover strips from a jelly roll. It will best work with either lights and darks or two different colours. I'm using yellows and browns, which also could be referred to as darks and lights. If you're struggling to separate the darks from the lights, you can always take a photograph, turn it into black and white, and then it becomes much more apparent which are darks and lights. Traditionally, the centre of a log cabin square is either red or yellow for the fire, so I'm going to start mine with a red. This square needs to be 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches.
Then you need to cut the following lengths from the dark strips. And then the following light strips. You'll only need one strip of each length. And this is what you should end up with.
First, sew your 2.5 inch squares together, taking 1/4 inch seam allowance. With your red on the left hand side, fold your light colour over the top and then sew 1/4 inch seam down the right hand side. And then open out and finger press. Then take your next light, which should be 4.5 inches. Turn your 2.5 inch pieces clockwise and then place your light fabric over. And then take 1/4 inch seam down the right hand side and over, and then take 1/4 inch seam down the right hand side, and then finger press the seam. Then take your dark 4.5 inch strip. Make a 90-degree clockwise turn, and then add your new 4.5 inch dark piece with right sides together on the right side, taking 1/4 inch seam allowance. Finger press your seam, or if you prefer, you could press it on an iron. Now take your dark 6.5 inch strip. Make a 90-degree clockwise turn and then add your new piece to the right hand side. If you prefer, you can clip or pin in place before sewing. Now sew, taking 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then take your 6.5 strip of light fabric. Once you get to this stage, it's quite easy to tell where to put the next piece, because it's the side where you will have 3 joins, 3 different pieces of fabric. The other 3 sides will either have 2 or 1. So on the right side, taking 1/4 inch seam allowance. Finger press and take your light 8.5 inch strip. And then turn 90 degrees clockwise. And then sew, taking 1/4 inch seam allowance and finger press. Take your dark 8.5 inch strip. Turn your block 90 degrees clockwise and then add your 8.5 dark strip with right side spacing to the right hand side, and sew, taking 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now take your 10.5 inch dark strip. Turn your fabric 90 degrees clockwise and add this next strip with right side spacing, and then you're going to sew down the right hand side, taking 1/4 inch seam allowance. Finger press the seam towards the piece you've just added. Next, take your 10.5 inch light strip. Unfortunately, I missed sewing this piece on, but here I am placing it, and then I sew, taking 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now take your 12.5 inch light strip. And so on after doing your 90-degree clockwise turn, taking a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then take your 12.5 inch dark strip. And so on, taking a 1/4 inch seam allowance, remembering to turn your fabric first and of course finger press the seam, and then so taking your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then take the last strip, which is a 14.5 inch dark strip. Then turn your fabric 90 degrees clockwise, and you'll always end up sewing on the side that has 3 pieces. Place your new fabric right sides facing, ready to sew. And so taking a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and you'll end up with something that looks like this. They might be slightly different. It should measure 14.5 inches by 14.5 inches. Unfortunately, mine was a little bit short of that. Obviously, I didn't quite get my 1/4 inch seam allowances quite right. Next, cut the strips for your borders, starting with the top and the bottom, which in my case is 14.25 inches long. So I'm going to cut 2 strips that are exactly 14.25 inches long. The width of this is again 2.5 inches because I'm hoping it will make an 18-inch cushion cover. Then with right side spacing, pin your 2 strips to the top and the bottom of your block. Then sew both the top and the bottom in place, taking a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then press both of these seams towards the border. Next, measure the 2 sides from the top of the border to the bottom of the border. And both my sides measured 18 inches. So next I cut 2 strips 2.5 inches wide and each 18 inches long. Then with right side spacing, pin or clip both of these borders to the right and the left hand side. And then sew both sides, taking a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then press both seams towards the border. Next you'll need a piece of backing fabric, 20 inches by 20 inches. This can be any colour because nobody's going to see it. Then you will need a piece of batting, 20 inches by 20 inches. Place your batting on top of your backing fabric. You can either pin your quilt sandwich together or use a spray. Here's how you pin it together. I have special quilting safety pins, but you can use normal safety pins or just pins. Place the pins at regular intervals so that all 3 layers will be held together whilst you are quilting, but try and avoid putting the pins in the areas where you're going to be quilting. If you prefer, you can use a spray based, which I'm going to use for this one. This is a different cushion cover, similar to the other, but doesn't have a border. Fold down the quilt and the batting of half of your cushion cover, and then spray your glue onto the backing of half of it, and then smooth the batting down on this half. Then spray some tacking glue onto the batting before, and then fold back over your quilt top, spreading it out to make sure it's nice and even. Then turn around and do exactly the same for the other half. Back to the original cushion cover now, which I'm going to hand quilt. I'm marking 1/4 inch from the edge of each of the strips, so I'm just going to sew around the edge of each strip 1/4 inch from the edge, and I'm using a yellow thread to do this. I'm using embroidery thread, but you could use any thread of a contrasting colour. Now, I'm no expert at hand quilting and I probably do rather a large stitch, so if you want to learn how to hand quilt, there are plenty of videos on YouTube where someone will show you how to hand quilt properly. Continue to quilt until all of your logs, all of your strips have been quilted. No need to sew around the edge of the quilt. On the border, I've just sewn on the inside and left the outside unstitched for now. Now, if you don't want to hand quilt, you can do this on the sewing machine. What I'm doing on this one, this is the back to the other cushion cover, is I'm drawing lines diagonally 2 inches apart, and then I'm just going to sew down these lines. And then sew along the diagonal lines that you drew. I start in the middle and then work my way out on the right hand side and then work my way out on the left hand side until all of the lines have been done. Another option for using your sewing machine is to do exactly the same as I did for the hand quilting. So draw about 1/4 of an inch around the edge of each of your logs and then sew around this on your sewing machine using a contrasting colour thread. I used green for the greens and pink for the pinks. Then trim your cushion cover, starting with the right side and square it off along with the bottom. Cut through all layers and remove the excess. Then you're going to turn it and squaring up at the bottom edge and trim as close to the edge of the cushion cover as you can. And carry on doing the next 2 sides in this way, squaring at the bottom with your ruler, cutting as close to the edge of your cushion cover as you can, making sure the line is nice and straight and that all corners are square. You'll need 2 pieces of fabric for the backing. Each one needs to measure 18 inches by 12 inches. And you need to turn under the seam on the inside raw edges. This will be the 2 sides where the seam measures 18 inches, not the 13 inches, 18 inch. This is where the 2 sides will overlap to make the envelope. Then press under 1/4 of an inch on both sides. I'm just going to eyeball it, but you can measure if you prefer. So press under 1/4 of an inch all the way along. And then turn over again one more time just to enclose the raw edge within the seam. Press all the way to the end, and then if you like you can pin, and then repeat for the other side, so you'll end up with 2 halves both turned under. Then at your sewing machine with a contrasting colour thread, I'm using orange here because I didn't have any brown, sew close to the edge of your hem that you've just turned over. And remember to back tack at the start and the finish. Now, with your quilted cushion cover facing right sides up, place your 2 backing pieces on top, making sure that these are facing right side down, so the right side of the backing is facing your cushion cover top. Place first side, then the second side, and they should overlap by 5 inches. Then pin or clip in place. Then sew all the way around the edge of your cushion cover, taking 1/4 inch seam allowance, back tacking at the start and the finish. And when you get to the openings, it's a good idea to sew backwards and forwards a few times just to strengthen that opening, because this is the area that will get the most wear and tear. Almost finished, but before turning your cushion cover the right side out, you just need to clip the corners. So just take the triangle off the corners, making sure you don't cut through your stitching, otherwise it will all come undone. But as close to the stitching as you can get without actually cutting into the stitching. Now turn your cushion cover the right side out through the envelope opening, and then use something pointed to push out the corners to make sure you have nice square corners. Now press your cushion cover all the way around the edges. You'll notice on this one I actually went round the corners rather than doing a square corner. In the end I think I preferred the square corners. Now you can put your cushion inside your cushion cover. And that's your cushion cover finished. And you see both the different styles, one with a border, one with a net without,